Alright, here I am again on the Goddard Road railroad crossing in Wyandotte, Michigan. Now I decided to make an update tour of this video of this crossing by request, and also a few changes have happened here ever since I was last here, back in August. So yeah, I decided to tour it again because, you know, why not? This is a pretty neat crossing owned by all the CN Flat Rock subdivision, CN Shoreline subdivision, and the Conrail Detroit Shoreline. So with that said, let's go ahead and get on with the tour. So for the first signal, this has a WABCO base. And here's the emergency information and the dot tag for the CN Flat Rock sub, and the DOM number is 258089X. And then I decided to start right at the neatly equipped crossing. And for the gate mechanism, this has an Invencies rail gate mechanism.
There's one at King Road at Harrison. There's one at King Road. There's one at Harrison Avenue in Trenton.
Yep. Also, I'm here with Kyle Henry, aka
Pacer Railfanning here, guys.
Yep, aka Pacer Railfanning for today's tour. So.
And for the lights, we got.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Can you say that again? I was waiting for her to pass by.
All right.
So,
for the lights, we got two pairs of Union Switch and WABCO 8-inch incandescent lights on a WABCO light bracket. As you guys can see, they fabricated an extender to extend this light to cope the power. It looks kind of funky from one side. And for the bell, we got a Siemens low pitch E-bell. The reason I know it's a Siemens low pitch bell because Caleb Belcher heard this signal in action earlier this month.
Yep, the low pitch bell also replaced the General Signals Type 2 that used to be here, which unfortunately died. But oh well, that's the way.
The Inventing rail gate mechanism replaced the original WABCO gate mechanism, probably in the early 2010s.
Right. So yeah, that right there is the Flat Rock gated signal. Now let's go ahead and move on to the mass signal on the CN Flat Rock subdivision. Across the road.
Ooh.
Let's move it. So yeah, here is the next signal on the CN Flat Rock subdivision. Yep, which has a Western W.C. Hayes base.
Western Colin Hayes base, same thing.
Yeah, and here's the emergency information, the dot tag again. If you look over here, you see an old Grand Trunk Western dot tag / Ann Arbor Railroad, as you can see on the bottom. Yep. And then for the lights, this has two pairs of L&W 8-inch lights, which I'm pretty sure is original. As you can see, they gave the crossing pole a fresh coat of paint ever since. And these sit on a L&W light bracket.
And for the bell, we got a General Signals Type 1 electronic bell. It is really quiet. In order to hear this bell, you have to be right next to the signal to actually hear it. It still works. Right.
Although it's kind of unfortunate, I also mistake this for a GS Type 2 when I heard this in action one time, but I actually did now know it's a General Type 1. I only mistaked it because it was so quiet. But so yeah, that right there is the CN Flat Rock sub signals, which mainly, you know, has changed ever since I was last here.
All right, so let's moving on to the Conrail signals. Back in 2008, when Owen 2 was here, there was a mix of G.C.R's plastic lights and 8-inch incandescent lights and mechanical bells here at this crossing. Sadly, the old signals were ripped out in late 2008 and early 2009. When Owen 2 made an update video, he says the signal posts are way too tall, and also the middle flashers here at Goddard Road are wired incorrectly. So let's say if there was a train on the southbound line, the northbound flashers would come on. Definitely incorrect signal wiring.
Right. I guess I could just blame the guys who installed these here, because these signals, exact signal poles that's supposed to have, are the kind where you're supposed to mount a gate mech on the side of them. But oh well, that's what they did. I mean, it kind of reminded me back then when this crossing used to have the old stuff. It reminded me of Vinewood Avenue and Emmons Boulevard heavily. But yeah.
So we got signal number 2, State Tran base. Here's the dot number and the emergency information of the blue tag. The dot number is 511-638K. We got two pairs of State Tran dialight LEDs on a State Tran light bracket. And for the bell, it's a GS Type 2 E-bell.
Yep. That's right. You heard it from the man himself. Now, let's go.
Here's the relay case. When Owen 2 was here, the old relay case had a separate flasher relays. Now it merged into one flasher relay. That's what video lovers said.
Yeah, that is pretty wonky. So let's go ahead and move on to the next Conrail signals. Now, most of these are pretty much just one and the same. So we're going to go ahead and speed through these real quick.
All right, so here is signal number 4. State Tran base. Older emergency information. 12 by 24 inch State Tran dialight LEDs, 2 pairs. state train light bracket, general signals type 2 e-bell.
Yep. And I only want to speed through this because I can only record 10 minutes at a time with this camera. But oh well.
Let's go.
So once again, another. Let's go.
Here is signal number 5, state tran base, full 2 pairs of state tran dialight LED, state tran light bracket, and general signals type 2 e-bell order emergency. Someone must have bent the sign.
Oh yeah, or somebody threw rocks at it. That's what it looks like. Oh well. At least it ain't like what was it, Antoine or St. John Street, where they used to have like faded stop and red signal signs, but now
Salia Road.
Salia Road. Okay. Now let's go ahead and move on to the final signal on the Conrail.
On the Conrail Detroit line.
And thank God, if you look closely, the fog has finally cleared up. The fog from this morning.
Yeah, the fog. The fog caused a lot of major issues on my way here to Wyandotte, Michigan this morning.
Same with me.
And here is signal number 6. It has a state tran base. Here's the blue emergency information over the old one again.
Yep.
Here is the 2 pairs of state train dialight LEDs on state train light bracket and a general signals type 2.
Yep, thank you, Kyle. Now let's go ahead with
to move to the shoreline signal.
Yep, to the
back in 2007 on Google Street View, the shoreline gated signal used to have a state tran mechanical bell, and the shoreline mass signal used to have a general signals type 1. They replaced those bells with GS type 2. Owing to and Railfanner caught the original signals in action. During the summer months of 2018, sadly, the old shoreline signal was replaced. I believe the original relay case used to be over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it used to be.
Yeah, when CN redid the signals, they rewired the secondary lights wrong. So let's say there was train on the circuit, the back lights on the gated signal stay on, the front lights on the mass signal stay on until the train completely clears the circuit. That is definitely incorrect signal wiring.
Yep, you heard it from the man himself. This is pretty much, history explained what has been filmed in the past. So here's the first signal on the CN Shoreline subdivision.
It has a state tran base facing northbound sideways.
Yeah, has an older generation state train base there. So, and here's the emergency information, the dot number for the CN Shoreline subdivision, and the dot number is 867-592J. And then there's no other older emergency information on this pole because, like you said, the older original signals have been completely ripped out. But yeah, and for the lights, this has, once again, 2 more pairs of Safe Tran 12 by 24-inch LEDs, but these are the GE uniform ones, as you may see, and all sitting on a Safe Tran junction box light bracket. And for the bell, this has a low-pitch Siemens electronic bell, like you said, replacing the original General Type 1 that used to be here.
And here's the shoreline relay case that was installed in 2018, as you guys can see.
Yep. I thought I heard a train horn in the distance, but I might have. So we can go ahead and Yeah, dude. I was freaking out earlier. Like, I couldn't see anything due to the fog, and I thought trains were coming.
Yeah. Thankfully cleared out. So.
Right.
All right, so moving on to signal number 8, the shoreline gated signal.
Last but not least, this one right here has a Siemens base.
Has a Siemens gate mechanism with an imprinted logo on it.
Yep. And here's the emergency information once again. And once again, this has 2 more pairs of Citroen 12 by 24-inch LEDs, the GE uniform ones.
And also we have Ricoh LED gate lights. And this signal features a wing guard for the gate.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And then for the bell, once again, another low-pitch Siemens electronic bell. So, yep, that is all there is to show today. This is my updated tour on the Goddard Road crossing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the track view.
That's heading towards St. John Street, Emmons Boulevard, Mill Street, Sally Road, and Pacer Road.
Yep, as you can see some of the crossings down there. You can see Emmons and St. John's pretty clearly. And down here is heading towards Antoine Street,
Ford Avenue, Vinewood, Hope.
Yep. Eventually, so on and so forth, you'll find yourself in Trenton, Michigan. So, yeah, that's what the shoreline track view look like. Let's take a look at the Conrail tracks. So, yep.
Here's the Conrail tracks. That's St. John's, and you can see the old white pattern signals right by Ford. They only come on if there's a train in that block.
Yeah, those are approach lit, which is kind of cool too. You don't see much of those anymore. All right, so this right here is the track view for the CN Flat Rock subdivision.
As you guys can see, that's a signal at right by St. John Street. The default colors of these signals are yellow over red. It's default in the area. So.
Yep, and down there you can see Antoine Street's vintage color light, searchlight.
That's the old signal protecting the time. It's green over red. It only changes to red if there's a train train going through the diamond.
Yep. But yeah, I only got 7 seconds left of this video. This is my updated tour of Goddard Road with Kyle Henry. So